In today's episode, I'll be giving my tier list for Netflix's hit show Dark. As you can see, we have 73 characters to get through. So this will be quite the video, but doing a Dark tier list. Let's dive right into it. Do something, man. People are questioning you. Shut up. Shut up. Okay, yep, do that. Sure, guys. Stupid and dumb. Just an idiot. Get your shit together, son. Fuck it. I loved it. Welcome to the dub cast. As I mentioned before, we have this thing, we had this menu. Okay, so we have the 73 characters, different versions of characters. Some of them, aren't going to be as relevant as others. However, we're going to try our best to do what we can do. So first character, they give it to us right away. It's Jonas in the yellow jacket. You got to go S tier with Jonas, especially yellow jacket Jonas. He was on something, man. Just one of the most, or the main character of the show, basically. There are moments where it's like he's kind of just following the lead of Adam and Eva. However, he's the GOAT. He's what makes the show go. In his season one, I liked like his innocence. In season two, he's bet gets better if it comes to Adam. His story arc throughout the three seasons is great, and especially Yellow Jacket. Jonas is a fun one to follow. Next, we have Katharina, which I'm going to double check to see if she is somewhere else or if this is just only the regular Katharina. Looks like this is really the only Katharina we have. So Katharina I go back and forth with. I'm gonna give her B tier. I like her. It's just like there's moments where I'm like, oh, it's tough to watch where she's like, I don't know. When she in season one when she's in denial to Stranger Jonas and the others about the bunker and everything, like that was a tough scene to watch. But like sometimes she's just very, I don't want to say like dramatic or like I think she's overreactionary. That's the word I would use. You know, obviously she loses a kid, etc. But not for me, or not one of my favorite characters, but she was decent character, Katharina. Kid version of Katharina, I'm giving a D. I mean, it's a tough rating, but like she was so mean. She was bullying Hannah. I guess actually I'll raise her to C tier. It was like, she goes to have sex with Ulrich and then gets beat up for it. So, it's tough to have a mom like that. But I felt like she wasn't ever like they bully Regina because they think she's the one to snitch about the rape case. I don't know. I didn't love kid Katharina. That's just my opinion. Noah. Noah goes A tier. Noah goes S tier. I'm sorry. Like Noah's aura in season one and two is absurd. He's a great character. Initially you think he's just like taking these. I don't even think we ever find out what he was doing with the head stuff, like why they took kids and did that. But as season one's villain, he was insane, and part of season two's villain, he was also pretty good. Has a very like flushed out arc with Agnes, and he's the kid of Bartosz and all that stuff. So I thought that was really fun. I thought Noah was one of the best characters in the show. Um, Infinite Aura, one of the best, most aura characters in TV. Young Noah, yeah, I'll give him like a C. He was weird. Like you're pursuing Elizabeth when you meet her when she's like 11. I thought that was pretty weird. And then he's kind of just always there to like seemingly like bring the plot along. Like it didn't seem like he was ever really doing anything too important. Um, However, he helps do certain events when he comes and talks to Elizabeth. That's a pretty interesting scene the first time in 2020, outside of the apocalypse, and then he, saves her in 2019 as well. Or he joins the bunker crew in 2019, but I feel like he was kind of just more of a plot device than an actual like interesting character. So that's why I have him on C tier. This version of Claudia, I'm giving an A. It's fun because she's kind of like the guinea pig of the group, where she is the one that they're trying to like get to like it's this is the version of her that we're trying to see become a traveler. So it's like interesting to watch her go through her arc with, killing Egan as well is pretty fucked up. But yeah, I mean Claudia's A. Maybe the later version of Claudia will give a little bit higher, but this version of Claudia is an A character for sure. Kid version of Claudia, I'm gonna have to go with Katharina, like maybe slightly below Katharina. Didn't really care for the kid version of Claudia. You know, the tr relationship with Tronte I thought was really odd. Um, it was just like I don't know what's going on here, and then she's kind of rude to kid version of Helge. Never really felt like Claudia was like an important really char or an important character. Kid version of Claudia, other than to like go back to her childhood, you know? This version of Claudia is going S as well. I'm putting her above Noah, and maybe I'm putting her top. She took away the knot, bro. She solved. I mean, we have heavy hitters to start out this tier list, but she freaking started, or she undid the knot by doing what she does, and she told everyone to go back in time. She knew she was gonna die. This version of Claudia is the GOAT. Like, I think if you hit the show on a rewatch, you're like, holy shit, Claudia was really like the one actually pushing all this stuff. Was the one who's deserving of the credit for, undoing the knot. I know I've said that a couple of times, but every time she comes in, it's like feels like she has a very impactful role. Like when she's sitting in herself's younger or her younger self's office, telling her about everything that's going to happen. I don't know. I love the older Claudia. She goes to talk to like it feels like every when she talks to Egan in 1953, it feels like every conversation she has is important, and she's the one who ends up solving the show and making the end of the show. So good for her. This version of Claudia, I think it's the alternate version of Claudia. I'm giving a D. Like she was kind of mean. I think she was working for either Eva or Adam, and then just gets killed instantly by the other version of Claudia. Didn't do much to the show, didn't add much to the show, but alternate reality. Agnes, I'm gonna give a B as well, below Katharina. Like Agnes had interesting storylines with Doris, I believe her name is, Egan's wife, but just I don't know, wasn't like the most impactful character. She was a traveler. Did do a couple fun things here and there, but I wasn't like, what's up with Agnes? Like, I wonder where Agnes is. And I didn't like her for making Doris cheat on Egan. That was a tough scenarios to watch. So I got her in B tier. Next, I believe this is Cilia. Maybe kid version of Cilia. Um, I feel like I should know who that is. Where's the other Cilia? No. Um, all right, we'll just say it's kid version of Cilia. Didn't do much either, so I'm gonna put her top of D tier as well. Don't really remember much of her character, having an impactful role other than just like being spared with, or maybe that's Agnes. Either way, I don't. That person's not that relevant enough to me. Either way, Kid Agnes, I don't remember doing much, and Kid Cilia, I don't remember doing much either. So they get D tier. They're not the worst, but they're not the best. Martha, our version of Martha. Um, I like Martha. I'm giving her A tier. Now, Martha does have her fault where she's like back and forth with Bartosz. Like, why would you ever date Bartosz after you fucking make out with Jonas on the beach? Nonetheless, she finds out quickly what's good for her. And, she's very emotional throughout the show, like being very emotional with Jonas, being very emotional about Mikkel missing, being emotional about Ulrich missing. Like, you feel very empathetic towards Martha. And obviously, this is the version of Martha that is going to inspire Jonas to do what he does. So I really like regular universe version of Martha. She gets top of A tier or bottom A tier right now, but I'm sure there'll be other characters added in. But I did like enjoy Martha throughout the show. Mikkel, honestly, just Mikkel as a character is like a B tier. Honestly, I'm putting him below Agnes. Like well, he does have some fun moments in season one. I'll put him above Agnes. He was fun at the beginning of the show, like very first episode when he's being himself in the house. I liked his dynamic with Magnus and Martha, but once he disappears, we don't really know where he is until he wakes up in 1986. He's kind of out of it. I mean, no harm done because he's in a freaking different year, but felt good for him to be there and whatever, but it was like, I don't know. He wasn't the most riveting character. It wasn't like, he was kind of just the cause of everything. He wasn't really the, like, oh shit, where's, like, I mean, I cared about Mikhail, but I didn't really care about it that much. I thought, wasn't the most interesting character when he was doing the rest of the stuff. However, M Michael, I liked a lot. I'm gonna put him bottom of A tier. Michael was really an interesting character that we didn't get to see enough of. I mean, the first 15 minutes of the show, he's hanging himself. And then after that, it's like in sparse moments. But my favorite episode of the series I decided is season two, episode six, Endless Cycle. Michael in that episode's awesome when he's like listening to himself peeing, almost going up to himself, but he doesn't, and it's like he's got to be skeeving out every day. And then his scene with Jonas is pretty awesome when Jonas tells him like, "I know what you're gonna do," and he's like, "So you're telling me, yeah, I have to kill myself?" That scene, awesome. I really enjoyed Michael's character, even though he was kind of sparse throughout the show. Alternate version of Mikkel, same tier as these people. Even worse than Claudia. He has even less of an impact than Claudia. So yeah, I don't know. Like, let's look at this Mikkel. He didn't run away. He didn't have to be, saved by Jonas and whoever and people traveling in the universe. Look at all these freaking characters. Um, so yeah, he gets D tier. I mean, it's just low impact. Like a lot of these alternate reality characters, I think are gonna end up on D tier. I'm sorry. Tronte, Kid Tronte, I'm gonna put him above. No, I'm gonna put him below Claudia on C tier. Kid Tronte is interesting, where it's like he has stuff going on. He's not like totally weird yet, although he did just like randomly drop his pants in the middle of the woods, which is like one of my least favorite scenes in the show. It's fitting to put him next to Claudia, I think. He doesn't do anything too offensive. He is part of the show for a lot of it. Kid version of Tronte, so it's not like I'm not gonna put him on D tier, but he gets that bottom of C tier. Adult version of Tronte, like mid-year version of Tronte, which is there. I don't like how some of them are in order and then some of them are out of order. Like, where's regular Tronte, you know? Um, because if we don't have regular Tronte, then is that him right there? Yeah, I think that's Tronte. So I don't I'm like looking through all these people. I don't know who's who. Okay, adult version of Tronte, I'm putting D as well, maybe even F. Like he was just so weird that one episode. Trying to talk to kid version of Claudia or kid version of Regina. Who was he talk? I forget who he's even talking to, but I think it was Regina actually. But he was just very odd, and I didn't like him at all. And Tronte was one of my least favorite characters. Speaking of least favorite characters, this character belongs on the bottom of F. Hannah, simplest one, easiest one to make, is just a piece of shit throughout this entire show. Very selfish, fakes a rape case against somebody, is cheating all the time, does everything for herself, doesn't care about others. It's like this is the epitome of a terrible TV show character, and I'm surprised she's not up there in the pantheon. I don't think Dark's well regarded enough for people to put her with like the Skylar Whites and the Jeffrey Baratheons of the world, but I think she belongs in those categories. I mean, Skylar White's a fucking saint compared to this one, in my opinion. So I'm sorry, Hannah, you get bottom of F tier. And your kid version is slightly better because she has more innocence, but she's also a piece of shit because she fakes the rape report. Also, Ulrich's like a couple years older than you. Like, get realistic. Stop being freaking so dramatic and like outbursting. I just hate it. And then this version of Hannah, which I don't know, is this alternate version of Hannah? I like alternate version of Hannah like slightly better just because she like she's not doing the cheating in that case. So yeah, that Hannah's this Hannah's the best. Alternate version of Hannah is the best. Um, it's still not good though, where she's like sniffing around. I mean, Charlotte cheating was fucked up. We know that, but her like I don't know, wanting vengeance on Charlotte, and she always has to like vow to threaten to kill somebody or end their life. Those three Hannahs will probably be at the bottom of this list. I couldn't see anyone jumping in for them. I just don't like Hannah at all. I don't know if there are people out there who like Hannah. Congratulations. There was like one redeeming Hannah scene. It's when she fucking dies because you feel bad for her that she's getting suffocated by her fucking mother. I mean, her father, her son. Fuck. But I'm so enraged about Hannah. Leave her at the bottom of F tier forever. House, barely in the show, but like had some cool lines that were like impactful about like time travel and shit. And I think he was maybe the one to talk about like Schrodinger's cat. Um, don't really care about this guy. Actually, he was somewhat interesting where he was like the leader of the building asking for the machine to be made in 1888. That being said, though, it wasn't like, what's he up to? Like, I couldn't even tell you this guy's name. So I don't think he impacted the show enough to be on the top four tiers. Next is looks like the kid version of Tannhaus, which is even less relevant than him, and even less relevant than other version of Mikhail, I think. And if that's not him, then I'm sorry, but I don't care about Kid Tannhaus, to be honest. I know the Tannhaus is like a super big part of the last season. I don't know though. I don't see it. I don't like it. Don't care about this character. Eva, Eva's like evil, but it's like I'm gonna put her D tier. At least she was trying to like save shit. Like she wasn't just want to turn everything to dust like Adam. Like Adam's a piece of shit for that. At least Eva was like, I'm gonna make everyone do terrible shit, but it's like I'm trying to save one world. Scarring Martha in the face and making Martha shoot Jonas. She's kind of just like Adam in that regard, but slightly a tier above, just because it felt like she was being genuine. Like I don't know. I felt like she was actually trying to accomplish what she was trying to accomplish, not just fucking turn the world to dust. I mean, again, Adam was trying to accomplish what he was trying to accomplish, but he's trying to fucking end the world. Like, grow up, dude. Um, so yeah, I'm putting her at the top of D tier. Obviously, somewhat of a villain figure, like anti-hero maybe, but didn't have the best morals. Charlotte, I fuck with the vision. I really like regular version of Charlotte. I'm gonna put her above Mikkel. Becomes a traveler, which is weird due to like the circumstances of the end of season one, two, when the apocalypse happens. I'm trying to remember what was the end of season one. Nonetheless, Charlotte is one of my favorite characters to follow around. Seems like she's got a really good shoulder about her. Is super nice to her kids. Obviously has a weird relationship with Peter, but that's not really her fault. Um, One of my favorite characters to follow around and one of my biggest rooting interests of the show was Charlotte, and she gets the happy ending. No, she doesn't because she doesn't exist, but she is the daughter of her daughter. So, there's that for you. Alternate Claudia, I mean, alternate Charlotte. Is she even B tier? Like, she's fine, but she's cheating. I'll put her here. Um, she's cool. Like, she cares about what's happening, but she's cheating on Peter with Ulrich, and like, I don't know. It's a different vibe from regular Charlotte. Like, it's definitely not the same version of Charlotte. You can tell. It just seems to be a little more like I don't know what the word for it is, but like less of a vibe. I'm leaving her middle of C tier. Kid version of Claudia, honestly, I'm gonna put her with these other kids. At least I feel a little bit empathetic towards her, so I'll leave her above Claudia, just because she doesn't know who her parents are. She like presses Tannhaus over it. But I wasn't like, oh my God, kid Charlotte, and she's also barely in the show as well. So I'm not gonna put her too low, but I'm not gonna put her too high. Kid version of Alexander, had like one cool scene, but I'm putting him with the kids in C tier as well. Probably he starts working for Claudia too, which was like interesting. So yeah, probably that because he's just like slightly more impactful than all those other characters, the kid version. And yeah, not really much to say about him. He is obviously faking an identity, killed somebody by accident apparently, and then works his way to the top. So that was respectable. Just not enough to really move me there. Alexander, low key a piece of shit. I think I'm gonna have to put him here or here. Uh, no, he has redeemable moments. I'll put him at the top of D tier. It's like when he's really feels bad for Regina, doesn't know about her cancer diagnosis. But besides that, like barely has a relationship with Bartosz. Is just kind of a scumbag. Like we learned through Clausen that what he did to his brother. Didn't love that out of Alexander. Wasn't one of my favorite characters and was kind of always a creepy, odd presence throughout the show. Like doesn't give the warrants and stuff. So he ends up at the top of D tier. Bartosz, regular Bartosz. Bartosz is fun, where it's like he's kind of that character that needs to be there for like I'm thinking top of seats here for him. Like he needs to be there to like progress the story along, but he like goes on a sidetrack of like listening to Noah, getting the time machine, like basically being kicked out of the friend group. So I'm leaving him top of seats here. Like he has fun moments, but I'm never like actually rooting for Bartosz throughout the show. Alternate version of Bartosz is like slightly better, probably the bottom of B tier. Cares a lot about Martha, like when a world without Jonas, is still simping. I forgot to mention that he simps for Martha a lot, but yeah, like I feel like this alternate version is involved in more cool scenes than regular Bartosz with like the stuff at the end with Jonas diving to save Martha when Bartosz pulls her out. I think there's more going on with alternate version of Bartosz than regular version of Bartosz, and that I cared more about. The adult version of Bartosz, which we didn't even know was him, barely in the show, gets killed by his own son. Uh, Seemed like a chill, like the dialogue was chill, so I'm leaving it at the back of C. Like he was having a good back and forth dialogue with Noah, so that was fun, but that was like for literally one scene he's in, so not the most relevant. Regina, Regina's better than these kids, to be honest, but I don't know if I can put her above alternate Charlotte. Kid Regina. Um, hmm. Yeah, I'll leave her here. No, I'll leave her here. Kid Regina is good. Like she gives good quips to Jonas. I remember that was one interaction they had. Obviously meets and likes Kid Alexander. Um, Besides that, like it's mostly just a fine character. Like I never remember being like annoyed with her. Like I was annoyed with some of these characters in the latter half of this tier list or the latter half of this tier, but I did like Kid Regina enough to leave her in the top of, or near the top of C tier. Helge, old version of Helge is A tier above Michael. Um, Helge's Helge's so awesome. Season one Helge TikTok and just season three ver I don't know if there's another. Is there the alternate version of Helge here? Probably. Um, but Helge is an amazing character in season one when he's like, I know what's gonna happen. Basically admits to, doing everything and no one listens to him because they think he has dementia, and then he just keeps running out of the house. Season one Helge hit, and then he drives the car into his self, which was fucking nuts. This version of Helge down here. So I gotta give respect to that for Helge is one of the best characters of the show. Slightly middle-aged version of Martha. There to just move the story along, to be honest. I don't put her here. Like she's just a worse version of Eva because she doesn't really know what's going on yet, and it's just kind of like a puppet of Eva. The least flushed out version of Martha, in my opinion. Kid version of Helge is pretty annoying, to be honest. He's like very odd. Um, so I'm gonna put him like here. I didn't like he's annoying. And then he's like running away from Ulrich. Like, granted, Ulrich's trying to like fucking just kill him when he's young so he doesn't grow up to become himself, but he's annoying. He's not talking to anybody. It's like this kid's annoying. Like, and then he sends the dog into the freaking into the caves. So that was fucked up by Kid version Helge. Not many redeemable qualities, in my opinion, out of Kid Helge. We have these two versions of Helge, which yeah, I don't. Both of them are very odd. Um, I think I'm just gonna put them both here because I don't know what the difference is between both of them. Didn't really like Helge as a middle-aged man either, where he's like being weird in the cabin, making those things for the children, and just like being very odd and unspecific about his whereabouts, where he was the night of the disappearance of the kids. Seemed to be shady, was shady. Just yeah, very odd vibes from Helge dodging the police, dodging Egan. So I didn't like that out of him. Next is Francesca. Honestly, Francesca has a lot of redeemable qualities. She's pretty fun early on, um, with her dynamic with Magnus before they start hooking up, and then her dynamic like while they're hooking up when she like he just stalks her and she's just like chilling about. I'm gonna put her here above Bartosz, just because she has more slightly redeemable more qualities than Bartosz, but definitely not the most fleshed out character, but definitely a fun character for the ride. Traveler version of Francesca, I think she's like kind of evil to be honest. Like I don't. She's fine. Like she's more of just like a nothing presence. Someone put her. That guy was cool. I'm gonna put her here. Here. Nope. Here. Ah, here. Sorry about that. Yeah, just like traveler version of Francesca is traveler version of Francesca. I don't know what much else there is to say about this character. Not many words spoken, not that big of an impact. Same thing with Peter. Kid version of Peter gets off the bus. It's like, okay, he's there, fun. Like it was nice. It was a cool scene when he was there. So, like the one scene he's in. So slightly better version of Traveler Francesca. Peter, regular Peter, I actually kind of liked a lot. Like his very interesting dynamics. I thought he was going to be like one of the more evil characters at the beginning of the show. I think he's got to go B tier. Like his arc with Elizabeth at the end of season three, or during season three, is fun as well. I think he's better than Francesca. Is he better than Agnes? He's better than Mikkel. Him or Catherine. I got Catherine a little bit out of him, but there's a lot of interesting dynamics that play out with Peter's character. Like I think Peter's a really interesting presence across the show, so he gets to be at the top of B tier. Magnus is kind of a creep. Also, I'm gonna put him below Francesca just because I feel like he's more basic and like I don't know. What's one quality of Magnus? It's like, oh, I don't know. He's just Magnus. I don't really care about him. So yeah, he ends up on B tier. This version of Magnus gave even less of a fuck, didn't listen to Martha about the apocalypse. So you're definitely not getting above these characters. Hmm. Yeah, I think this is I think this is a good spot for him. Just yeah, just a different version of Magnus, but like less caring, less uh, thinking about the world. Like just watch the world die. Basically, doesn't do much. Doesn't listen to Martha at all. Is just kind of focused on fucking our alternate version of Francesca. So he's not gonna get my highest regards. Traveler version of Magnus is slightly more interesting than Traveler version of Francesca. Probably like here for him. Is just kind of a puppet throughout the show as well. Although it's like a cool reveal these two that they're travelers. They don't like do much as travelers, so that's where I gotta leave traveler version of Magnus. I'm getting worried that we're gonna miss some characters here. These are all in like a weird order. Ulrich, regular version of Ulrich is kind of a piece of shit to Hannah, but it's Hannah. So he's going on A tier. I'll put him next to his partner in crime and the person he fucks up for life, Helge. I really liked Ulrich in season one. You know, he does have the cheating stuff with Hannah, which is not great for him, but he's definitely like one of the main characters that you're supposed to be rooting for and rooting with. So I liked Ulrich a lot. Was giving like main character energy early season one, and then gets fucked up through time. You know, obviously goes back and beats the shit out of Helge, which we can argue if that's warranted or not. I really liked Ulrich's character though in the first season and this version of Ulrich, so he gets middle of A tier. This person is, I think that's Helge's dad, which like he's super relevant. He just owns he's gonna make the nuclear power plant. He's even in like less scenes than these people. And is also like, you're making a nuclear power plant, it's gonna fucking stop the world, dude. Um, Someone put him like here. I'm guessing this is the old version of him or the guy from the plant. Same thing, just like slightly worse or better, just less fleshed out. Didn't really care much for him. Yeah, didn't really move the plot of the show at all. Mom version of Enos was awesome. I really liked mom version of Enos. Was very nice to Mikkel. I think that'd be nice if we put her like right next to Mikkel. Didn't have to take in Mikkel at all, but like saw him struggling as a nurse and then took him in. So I really like that out of her, and also her like helping him. Although the sleeping pill stuff was a little bit weird. It's probably hard for a kid to time travel and then try and fall asleep at night. So I got Enos in the middle beats here. She was a very fun character throughout. Old version of Enos was less impactful. She kind of just like knows the letter. That's it. In season one, I don't remember her having like a huge impact after that. But we'll put her above alternate version of Charlotte. Sorry, she was like fine. And you're like, who is this? Because in season one, you have like no idea who's who. So maybe we could go back and watch season one. We can move up this character, but I feel like that's an apt spot for her. Not too much impact. Kid version of Enos was also doing nothing really, so probably slightly worse version of that. We'll put her next to her friend Claudia, right there because there's like slightly more going on with Claudia than Enos. And this is not just a tier list based off who has more lines and stuff. It's just like I don't care about Enos when, there's more interesting and rooting interest in Claudia than Enos. Elizabeth. Elizabeth ends up being super important. But this version of Elizabeth, I like to be like, she doesn't like Mikkel, so that'd be funny if we put her next to Mikkel. Um, you know what? She got top of beats here. That season three scene of her beating the shit out of the guy with the fire hydrant is what's boosting her up. But that whole arc of her and her dad in 2020, I really enjoyed that storyline. And I also really enjoyed just her character in season one, like being deaf and all that stuff. So that was really fun out of her. Elizabeth gets top of beats here. She's also one of the main like important characters of the show. Obviously, hooking up with Noah, creating Charlotte, and then becoming Charlotte's daughter somehow. This version of Elizabeth was very scary, and I didn't like her that much. Felt like she had something going on. I'm gonna put her like above Alexander. It was like super cool reveal when we find out this is Elizabeth, but like she's kind of just mean to people and like hangs people and is very like anarchist out there in the apocalypse. I didn't really like the energy she was putting out, and then she just joins one of the traveler sides. It's a touching moment when she like sees Claudia again, or why do I keep fucking names? When she sees Charlotte again through the portal in the apocalypse, but like not my favorite character, and kind of thought she was evil towards the end of it. This version of Elizabeth and Noah, which I don't know why there's two of them on there, but they made Charlotte, so good for them. Hmm. We don't even know these characters at all. So like I'm putting them below Bartos, like adult version of Bartos, where like at least we got good dialogue. I mean, I don't even know what the fuck. I don't even get dialogue. At least just a picture of them. But yeah, you guys made Charlotte, so you're at least C tier. Eric, don't care about Eric at all, to be honest. He's kind of just a plot device. So like I say, there's more redeemable qualities with most of these people here. Um, hmm. I'll put Eric like here. Like, there's nothing going on with Eric, bro. It's he's just gonna get killed. Same thing with it's Yassine. He's better though because he like is nice to Elizabeth, is Elizabeth's boyfriend. At least like he has positive moments. So we'll put him definitely better than Trante versus Claudia. Better, definitely better. Him versus Katharina, better, 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 and better. Probably here. Yeah, Yassine's a nice kid. Like his relationship with Elizabeth's really fun, and although very short lasted, it's actually sad to see him go to be one of the become wind up dead because when we just see him disappear and he winds up dead. That one was I was way more sad up over Eric, where Yassine was like this innocent kid and actually had a fleshed out relationship with Elizabeth. So that was a tough one to watch. Old crashed out version of Ulrich is a W. Um, hmm, I'll put him here. He's like this is when you feel bad for a man, trapped in a 1953, just grows old and then escapes to get to see Mikkel for a half second, sees Martha and Magnus when he's getting escorted away. Just this is one of the saddest arcs of the story is older Ulrich never really getting to get back out to his family, has this scare or has the run-in with Katharina where she's like, I'm gonna free you, and then she gets killed by her own mother, so he's not able to see her as well. I like this old version of Ulrich. Like he's also very wise. He's in this insane hospital, but he's like still got it. So I like this version of Ulrich. Wooler, kind of a meh character to me. Kind of just there to move the plot along. Doesn't do anything too offensive. He is on like Alexander's payroll, which is annoying. Um, ends up being one of the people at the last dinner table. I'll put him like here. We never get to find out with his fucking eye, so that just ruins everything. Jana, um, is that Jana? I'm guessing that's just that must be yeah, it's probably okay. Old version of Janna is like suspect on Tronte, so I respect that out of her. Has like slightly more impact on a bunch of these kid characters. I'll put her like below Wooler. Yeah, put those two in the same spot. I don't know why. But yeah, she's fun. She's interesting, kinda, but not really, 'cause she's not really in the show that much. Kid version of Janna is weird, where she's like she loses out to Claudia and trying to bang kid version of Tronte. Some put her here. Like she has one season three arc where she's like chasing Tronte around the lake, which is fine. Middle-aged version of Janna is probably the best version where she's like bitching at Tronte for not caring enough, and that was fun. So we can leave her there at the top of near the top of C tier. Who is this? Genuinely don't know who that is. Am I losing my fastball? He's wearing a suit. Um, a relevant character to be honest. And put him there because I don't even know who that is. Killian, they did my boy dirty. He seemed okay. Just gets blamed for them having to go into the bunker, which I thought was pretty short-sighted. Uh, he's like very not very impactful though. Some of them like there. He's kind of mad also. He like doesn't have anything going on. He's kind of boring in my opinion. So he gets to go in the bottom of C tier. Clausen, Clausen's a goat. Clausen's going A tier, and you can fight with the fucking wall or argue with the wall. Clausen's one of my favorite characters in the show. He's only in it for season two, but his appearance in season two is amazing. I love his character slowly and slowly pinning in on Alex, or not Alexander, and getting him to go behind bars and figure out what's really going on in Winden. You know, he kind of clocks Charlotte throughout as well, of like not being super tied into the investigation. So I did really enjoy Clausen's character throughout season two in the show. Kid version of Ulrich's also pretty fun. I'm thinking like B tier for him. Uh, Probably like here. No, he's definitely yeah. We'll leave him next to his old version of himself because he's much less wise. But Grilling Egan, who I think is an omission from this tier list. Unfortunately, we have no Egans on this tier list, which is sad. But yeah, kid version of Ulrich is fun. His banter with Egan's all time, and yeah, I mean, I liked it. Kind of a punk, but it's fun for the 80s, so we'll leave him there. Alternate version of Ulrich is just a scumbag, is like a double cheating time, just goes back and has even less version to kill Helge and do shit to him. Yeah. Hmm. We'll leave him like here. At least like it's Ulrich and he cares about his kid, you know? But alternate version of Ulrich, no. Just no. Uh oh, so there's other Katharina. Okay, so this is alternate version of Katharina, kind of basic. No offense to her. Um, yeah, we'll leave her like above him because I don't remember her having many impactful scenes. Other than talking with Martha, her talks with Martha are fun, and then we'll replace that with our version of Katharina, which I believe I had here. Um, so yeah, obviously Katharina is one of the goats. I mentioned that are one of the best characters in the show. Alternate version of Katharina is just kind of boring, like I said, really only has the conversations with Martha. Doesn't really seem to have a great handle on things by being a single parent. Has an interesting dynamic with alternate version of Ulrich. Obviously, they are separated, but yeah, it's crazy. Adam. Adam is A tier just for his like being this crazy villain. We'll put him above Helge. I'll put him above Ulrich too. Adam is one scary motherfucker. Like when you see the fucking Netflix picture that stops on him, it's like, holy shit, bro. Who is this guy? Because we didn't fucking know who it is. But once we like really get to know Adam, you know how fucked up he is in the head. But he's a great villain. So he has to be near the bottom or near the top of A tier. Alternate version of Alexander, even less going on and less interesting than the other version of Alexander. Um, so we'll put him like here. Yeah, just like I hate doing the alternate versions and the regular versions because there's not much flushed out in the alternate versions, but it's like he's not that interesting either, or he's not rootable. Regina, our version of Regina is fun. Uh, she kind of well, she dies off, and then it's like she just becomes like bedridden with cancer, which sucks, but it makes her storyline like less interesting. So I'll put her there. She has fun stuff with Stranger Jonas in the hotel, and yeah, I think that's a good spot for her. Dead Regina, like, put her with the freaking picture. We don't even know who this is. Like, we never even met her. But it's Regina, so she's probably a good version of herself, better than Noah. Trante, yeah, F. Just hate Trante. He's so weird. Gives off bad vibes to me. I don't like Trante at all. He's definitely worse with age as he like comes back and suffocates Regina. Is doing crazy shit, so we don't like Trante in this house. Stranger Vernus, Stranger version of Jonas is one where like I think he's kind of a creepy. He does have a good like his season one arc is fun when he's like helping Jonas try and find the passage, and then he's like helping the group out in season two and three. Oh, he can't go. I hope we go bottom eight tier. He is very creepy with like sitting in Martha's bed, and obviously he's like bound to be loving Martha forever. But I didn't fuck with that fully. So I got him bottom eight tier. Last one is Yellow Jacket Martha. She's fun as well, kind of innocent, but then becomes fucked in the head like sh in short time. They don't have the like slightly older version of her, so I'm gonna go. She does end up saving the universe though with Jonas, so that's fun. Um, She also saves Jonas from dying in the apocalypse. Charlotte Adam. We'll put her here. I mean, she's mostly a season three girly, and I can't believe I just said that, but yeah, it's not like she's the most impactful character. We got her at the middle of A tier. So here it is, the tier list for Dark throughout the show. Number one, the person who stopped it all, Claudia. She figured out the loop. She stopped the loop. She closed the knot. So good job, Claudia. You get S tier and also just amazing knowledge throughout the show. Jonas, main character. Noah, main villain. Insane aura between these two, mostly Noah though. A tier. Not sure if I agree with this Claudia being here, but she's like a very important character throughout the show. Definitely rootable and has mistakes and makes progress as well. Martha, Charlotte, Adam, um, Yellow Jacket, Martha, fun season three appearance. Season one Ulrich, like these are kind of just seasons. Season one Helge, season one Michael, season two Clausen, and Stranger Jonas. B tier, we have like slightly rootable characters. We have Elizabeth, Katharina, old version of Ulrich, young version of Ulrich, Peter, Ines, Mikkel, Regina, Agnes, Francesca, Magnus, and Bartosz, alternate version. In the C tier, these are kind of people I'm just kind of mad on. Bartosz, young Noah, Yasin, kid version of Regina, um, middle-aged Yana, older Ines, alternate version Charlotte, kid version of Katharina, Bueller, older version of Jana, alternate version Magnus, younger version of Alexander, younger version of Charlotte, younger version of Claudia, Katharina, Killian, younger version of Enos, younger version of Yana, younger version of Trante, old version, like one scene version Bartosz, and then these three, we don't even know these characters, Regina, Noah and Charlotte when they were gonna have, I mean Noah and Elizabeth and they're gonna have Charlotte, and then this guy who I don't know, and I may get killed because usually I don't know a lot of these people, but this feels like a he's like some, and then I feel like I could place the face. I don't know. D tier are kind of like slightly evil characters that I didn't fuck with that much. Older version of Elizabeth, just crazy. Alexander, Eva, younger version of Eva, old Tannhaus, Helge, kid version of Helge, both middle-aged versions of Helge, alternate Alexander, Magnus, traveler version, Peter, young version, traveler, Francesca, Celia, or Agnes, kid version. The guy or Helge's dad, either the Cole guy or Helge's dad is older. I think Helge's dad died though, so it's gonna be the Cole guy. Alternate version of Ulrich, Eric, alternate version of Claudia, alternate version of Mikkel, alternate, no, younger version of Tannhaus. F, we have Trante, middle-aged, Trante old, Hannah. Yeah, so a couple people missing. I know off the rip. We have like Egan. Egan would be an A tier somewhere. Probably the older version of Egan would be like B tier. Middle version would be A tier. And then there's one I just thought of as well. Um, hmm. If there's anyone else, you can let me know below, and I'll tell you where I would put them. But Egan, like middle-aged Egan, would probably be like bottom A, top of B. Same with older version of Egan would probably be a little bit lower, but still pretty up there because he was fun at the end. So yeah, that's where we wrap up Dark, and that wraps up the Dark coverage on the show. 3 seasons in the books, tier list, we did it all. So next show podcast will be The Bear, season four. I'm almost done for just watching that. Then Ironheart for shows, movies we have The Manchurian Candidate, sports we're in an off period. It's kind of been an off period for the Dubcast, just not a lot going on, but we'll be right back in the fall with a bunch of exciting stuff and movies coming soon as well. So thank you guys as always for watching and be easy, y'all.